and welcome to another Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. And today, I finally done it. I've broken down. I went back to it. I fell off the wagon. I have totally relapsed or lapsed or whatever you want to call it. Magic the Gathering. Yes, if you follow my channel or at least some of my Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturdays, you've probably heard some of the story of how I have dealt or grew in the hobby between regular, mass market games, like Risk and Clue, and into abstract games like chess, and then into war games, and then was out of gaming for a while and came back into it. And one of the things that got me back into it was, yes, Magic the Gathering. And I have gotten hot and heavy into Magic the Gathering, and then cut it off and went on to something else, and then got back into it, and maybe 4, 5, dare I say 6 times in my life. If we count this one, this might be the 5th or the 6th. And I'm not going to get back in full bore. I say that every time. But my son's got back into it. This is my son's 3rd time getting back into Magic. And so corresponds with my maybe 5th or 6th time. And so I'm not as enthusiastic about it as he is, but I decided I will, entertain him and have something in common to talk with him about. So I'll get back into it a little bit. And one of the things that I'm getting back into is this coming out. This is a commander deck for Doctor Who. Another thing I told myself I wouldn't do is I said, yeah, I don't like going for the IP specific commander decks because they just don't feel like they fit within the overall fantasy arc of Magic the Gathering. Now, Magic the Gathering has gone beyond that and has added in some, like cyberpunk type stuff, and they have Warhammer, and they have Lord of the Rings, and they've added in other IPs over time, so the universe is not so limited to just fantasy. However, the game itself and the core mechanism and how the cards, fit together, or at least thematically, is relatively fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi, but mostly fantasy. And I don't know, just bringing in some of these other genres, it just doesn't feel right to me. But that's me. That's, your mileage, of course, will vary. But these unique commander decks for Magic, first of all, they're expensive as all get out. But I'm a big Doctor Who fan. I wasn't a Doctor Who fan when I was younger, and I had some friends that were, and I just didn't understand it. But then when my kids were young, we got into Doctor Who, kind of for me for the first time, and them around the 10th Doctor. And so we kind of liked the 10th Doctor and then followed the 11th Doctor. And then I actually liked the 12th Doctor. My kids were not. They're big 10th Doctor fans. And then with my oldest daughter, we really got into the 13th Doctor quite a bit. But anyway, I digress. So I do like this IP, and I might put this in my epic IP playlist that I have down below. I might start something on Doctor Who because I have more than one game on Doctor Who. But I like this. I like this genre. I like the storyline and the different doctors, and I just find it entertaining. And but I was going to stay away from the Magic specific sets, but then I broke down and picked this up because my son was home from college, and I succumbed to peer pressure. But so this is there's 4 commander decks, and if you're not familiar with Commander. Commander is a way to play Magic, but it's kind of like the Highlander. I used to play Highlander way back in the day, but you have a deck of 100 cards, and you can only have 1 copy of everything. So it's not a very efficient deck in that you're not playing to have multiple, like 4 copies of something, which is the limit in a standard deck for general play purposes. You want to build your deck with combos and have 4 copies of everything, so the probabilities are you can draw it better because you have a limit of, you usually want to play around 60 cards in a deck with like a 15 card sideboard. This is this is Commander is just 100 cards. You start with more life, and you have 100 cards. You can only have one copy of everything, so you have to build cards that synergize with other cards and not other copies of the same card. And so it's a little bit different kind of format. It's usually it's not one-on-one. It's usually a group of people playing. You have maybe 4, and it's a different kind of play format, and but it allows you to really get into a theme. You're not building the most efficient deck of 4 copies of every killer card. You're building an overall theme or arc and synergy in the deck. And so I picked this up. This is the as I said, there's 4 of them. This is the baddies. This is the Doctor's greatest villains. This is, what is this? Masters of Evil. That's the name of this. Masters of Evil. And it has 3 colors. And if you're not familiar with Magic, then this isn't going to be a tutorial on Magic. There's a lot of stuff out there for that. But I might start putting more Magic content in my CCG and LCG playlist down below, so you can follow it there. But there are 5 colors in Magic, and this is a deck that the overall commander, which is Davos, which is the creator of the dialect, which is the Doctor's #1 enemy. It has 3 colors. It has blue, black, and red. And red is usually very aggressive and fire and fast. Black is death and life drain and discard your deck, and blue is kind of the more thoughtful and control type magic of counter spells and controlling other creatures and the like. And so the 2 other colors are white and green, and that rounds out your 5 colors. But this deck is going to have creatures of those 3 colors, and you have a commander that plays a little bit different than a regular card coming out of your deck. Normally you have to cast it based on the mana cost, but a commander it kind of starts off in your field, and when it dies, it just doesn't go to your discard pile. It goes to a place where you can bring it back, but the cost is going to start increasing every time you bring it back from there. But so this is the overall, this is the glue that binds the whole deck together, is your commander, because you're kind of building to that commander's strength and combinations. So this is there's 4 decks, and I think the other 3 are taking groups of doctors. Each one of them has one of the doctors as the commander, but it has, I think, some of the other doctors from the series nestled in that deck, and then you have one big baddie here. So let's get in here and see what we get in a deck of this. Masters of Evil right there. And before we go too further, you can see I got some Doctor Who stuff going on there. There we go. There's the TARDIS. And that's actually a box for yet another game, a card game, but not especially deep one. Let's see here what we got here. Oh, we got some tokens there. Kind of punch those tokens out. That's cool. Let's see if I can pull this out here. There we go. Alrighty. So that will probably go. Oh, I think I didn't look at the back, did I? So there's some of the other doctor. That's one of the Time Lords, Missy, and she was the kind of the nemesis for the 12th Doctor. And as I said, I really liked Peter Capaldi's interpretation of the Doctor. I thought he was a little bit more serious, a little bit darker, but I liked him. And then she was one of his. She's a Time Lord, and she was one of his big opponents. And the Weeping Angels. Love the Weeping Angels. One of my favorite. My oldest daughter and me. That's our favorite of the Doctor Who encounters. There's the Doctor's Tomb. That's a whole episode there. Actually shows up in a couple episodes. So you see the back there, and find out what's going on in this commander deck. All right. So what do we have here? Ooh, we got a punch out for Missy. And I usually cut these out and keep these. I don't know why, but it's just it's a nice little foil of the deck. And you got all these little punch outs here. Use those for tokens or what have you. Let's see what we have in there. Oh, look at this. We got a envelope. What's that? What could that be? Here's a deck box. That's kind of cool. I wonder if it can hold 100 cards. Got a little deck box that comes with it. Nice. Like that. And people really outfit their stuff. They sleeve them because, I mean, it's a card game, so you're going to want to sleeve your decks. And so there's deck boxes and sleeves and all kinds of accessories that you get for this. Ooh, there's a punch out for Davos himself. Let's see what we got here. How does this coming out here? Punch out like that. And then we have got a little, maybe it explains this deck or what have you. A little bit of a fold out here. Masters of Evil, look at that. Got your commander rules. So you start with 40 life. Commander starts the game in the command zone. And you got all the different rules. There's Plane Chase is a Magic format. That's kind of interesting. I need to read up on that a little bit. Read up on Missy and Davos are the big baddies in this deck, I would imagine. And what else do we got in here? We got, we got a life counter. That's kind of cool. So you keep track, you start off with 40, and then as you take hits, you get down. And the whole point of Magic is, well, two ways you normally win in Magic is you start with a certain amount of life. In a standard game, it's 20, but in Commander, it's 40. If you get down to 0, you lose, or if you get decked, meaning that you run out of cards, and when you go to draw a card, there's no cards, then you lost the game as well. So let's, I think that's all the goodies that are in there. Let's see what we have in this deck here. And I'm probably not going to spend time on each card because that would take more time than you probably want, but you probably want to see some highlights here. So let's go in close here, shall we? So there is Davros. Sorry, I was saying Davos. I was going to the economic conference. There's Davros, and seeing him there. If you want to, I'll take some of the glow off this. My special effects budget. I already spent my special effects budget for the month. Legendary artifact, and to be a commander you have to be legendary. So he's got menace. That means that he can't be blocked by just one creature. He's a 3/4. You have an attack and a defense on the cards. Again, this isn't meant to be a Magic tutorial, but I'm just giving you a little bit of understanding of some of the stuff. So he creates 3/3 black dialect artifact creatures. So that's kind of cool. Okay, that's Davros. That's kind of a thick copy of Davros, and then you've got the regular card version of Davros. It's still a foil, though, so that's kind of cool. Then we got Missy. She's a Time Lord Rogue. She's a 4/5. And she could be the commander as well, because you have to have in order to be a commander, you have to your deck has to have is limited by the color of the mana. So she's got the 3 color mana, so all the cards in here are probably of those 3 different mana types. So she can be the commander as well of this deck. We got some artifact creatures here. Oh, the Flood of Mars. That's an interesting episode. Love that episode. Cyber conversion. Talking about the Cybermen here. Oh, Hunted by the Family. That's a good episode here. If you're a Doctor Who fan, then this is, and you're not a Magic fan, then this probably is not that important, but you'll find some interest in here. If you're a Magic fan and a Doctor Who fan, then this is probably something that you couldn't pass up, which is, kind of where I'm at. Kind of cool there. Ooh, Doomsday Confluence. Look at that. Oh, there's a lot of dialects there. The Toymaker's Trap. And we have a saga here. Sagas are coming back in vogue. It's a four-step saga. It's kind of interesting. A lot of dialects there. Death in Heaven. Then we're getting some of the reds here. Day of the Moon. Oh, here's another legendary. But as you can see here, this couldn't be the commander because it doesn't have blue. So any of the blue cards in here you couldn't play. So this only has black and red. And that's the precursor to Missy, that Time Lord. Ooh, another Time Lord there. Yet another Time Lord. Got a lot of Time Lords here. They're on the baddie deck. There's Gallifrey's End. The Master. Missy is a Master, and that's the Time Lord kind of villain that she was playing. Oh, Valeyard. That's an interesting one. Weeping Angel. There, I love Weeping Angels. Blue, black. I guess that makes sense. Weeping Angels. If you're gonna watch one episode, or there's like, I think the Weeping Angels are on like, well, in the 13th Doctor they came back, but they were on at least a couple of different episodes. And if you're gonna watch an episode, those are good ones. I was an X-Files fan when X-Files was first out, and so there was a storyline to the whole episode, but a lot of the episodes were just kind of like versions of Night Stalker, the old, I'm dating myself, the old 70s 80s show with Darren McCabe, with guy, who is that guy? It's the guy from Christmas Story. Anyway, they're like sci-fi episodes, kind of like a Twilight Zone, and I like that, how they would try to weave it all together, but each episode some of the episodes would just stand on their own. Doctor Who does that same thing. Some of the episodes just stand on their own. You really don't need to know the overall story to Doctor Who or the Doctor. Just the episode can kind of stand on its own. The Weeping Angels kind of fit that way. I really like the Weeping Angels. So there's a lot in here. Look at the Cyber Controller. Let's go a little bit quicker here. We got some tokens. Tokens are like when you create something. So you got Cybermen. You can use a token to play out, because the card will create something. You use a token to represent it on the board. So then we got a lot of land, because you need land for your mana. Actually, not that much land in there, is there? Oh, there's a lot of special land here. Ooh, Ominous Cemetery. That was, I'm probably not showing this very good, am I? Sorry about that. Ooh, what was that? Path of Ancestry. It's cool. It's the TARDIS, as we just took a view of that. Alien Angel. It's part of the Weeping Angels. Okay. All right. Didn't see a lot of land in here, so there's some artifacts. Solar. Some of these are classic. That's not. Some of these are classic artifacts that have just been ported over here from other sets. It's kind of cool, like the sonic screwdriver. Got some vehicles here. Artifact creatures. Yeah, I wonder how much land we put in here. I didn't see a lot of land in here. Those are the silent. Those guys are creepy. All right, here's the Dialect Emperor. Cult of Skaro. Got the Cybermen there. Here's Blink. That's one. That's one of my favorite episodes of the Fallen Angels, or Weeping Angels, I should say. There's another Master. This looks cool. There's a land. Okay, so there's some land in throughout here. I was kind of worried I didn't see a lot of land. Got all kinds of special land here. There you go. So that is, it's a quick look. There's the Gallifrey Council Chamber, a legendary land. Gallifrey is the home of the Doctor. Blink, awesome. Put that right on front there. So there you have it. That's a quick look at the Masters of Evil. Is that what they're calling this set here? Yes, the Masters of Evil. One of the... Oh, we got this here. Let's look. Got to see what's in here, right? Can't go away too soon. What do we have in the envelope? Oh, and the winner is... Oh, what's that? Is that just a collector booster sample pack? Oh, well, we got to open that up, right? We stayed around this long. And what are these? These are like oversized stuff. What is this stuff here? Is this part of that plane chase, or what are we doing here? So yeah, so this is the plane of Skaro, the moon, Dark Asylum, Mars, Trinzalore, that's where Doctor dies, or his tomb is. This is a phenomenon, that's a flux. Matrix of Time, that's from the 13th Doctor, and that's the latest Master. The Hotel of Fears, and Colony Ship. So I got to read up on these plane chase. These are all oversized cards for plane chase. Let's put that there. Let's go out a little bit. See this stuff a little bit better. Probably messed up your visuals, but you know, you got to go buy the stuff and find out. So I'm opening this up, see what we get in here. What did I get special in my sample pack here? Makeover montage. Okay, don't know what that is. Oh, Rose Tyler. That's cool. A little different art there, more cartoonish. She was one of, she was the 9th and 10th Doctor's companion. Then we got Gallifrey Stands, Legendary Enchantment. It's kind of cool. There you go. All right, so I got some extra bonus cards to go with my other stuff there. So there you have it. That is what I got in my box of Enemies Masters of Evil, which is the big baddie deck for Doctor Who, Magic, the Gathering Commander deck. I'll have to get some of the other ones. I don't know if I'll get all 4, but you know me, I probably won't stop. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Love to know your thoughts on Magic the Gathering in general, or this deck in general, or Commanders, or the Doctor Who, or anything about Doctor Who, the series or the games or what have you. Just it's free. Just go at it. Anyway, thanks all. Take care. Always check your trash before you throw it away. I found some of this in the packing here. There's this little cube here. And it's interesting. It's just, it's got symbols on two sides, and that is it. There you go. Oh, I guess that's what I roll. There we go. Take care. Thanks for watching.